They call me the Hebrew stranger, walking in the face of danger. In my ranger, I don't worship no nativity.
Deuteronomy 28. And Yahuwah shall bring thee unto Egypt again with slave ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again, and there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen and bondwomen, and no man shall buy you. Jeremiah 16:13. Therefore will I cast you out of this land into a land that ye know not, neither ye nor your fathers, and there shall ye serve other gods day and night, where I will not shew you favor.
Implications. Another area in Africa you have something big happening is in Nigeria. You have the Igbo people, or Igbo, pronounced either way. There's 40 million of them, also Christians, like I spoke about before, how that could happen to the children of Israel very easily. But also a lot of them are now coming out and converting back or adopting the rules of the Torah without all the paganism that they've been practicing for hundreds of years. There's been books written about it from scholars in Nigeria, from scholars from the Jewish people. And where it gets interesting is, in America, there was a slave trade. And a lot of the slaves, a very high percentage of them, came from Western Nigerian ports. And in America today, you see a very large movement of African Americans who say that they're the real chosen people, that they're the children of Israel, they're the Judeans. You know, so what are they just trying to create an identity for themselves because they were slaves, or is there really something here? And the answer is, most likely there is something there. And most likely, maybe that they were the original Israelites, and maybe that the Jewish people today who are white, Caucasian people came in a little bit later on.
Alright guys, now you've seen the curses, Deuteronomy 28, and you heard it from the horse's mouth. Rabbi was speaking about who the true Israelites are. Let's see what genetics has to say also. That way we can put everything together and leave no room for doubt. So we're going to start with right here, what you guys see with Dr. Iran El-Hayek. Let me just zoom in here real quick. We're going to give you the meat of all this. So I got it underlined in red. Basically, I'm going to go ahead and read it. This is the only match from prehistoric times to date, but it is reasonable to expect many more to come, as ancient DNA from Eastern Europe and the Caucasus will be sequenced. Interestingly, the Y chromosome haplogroups of ancient Israelites are typically E1, B1, and T1 haplotypes commonly found today in Africa and lower frequencies in the Middle East and Europe. And like I said in the last video, that's because that's where the brews mostly reside. So this is from Dr. Iran El-Hayek. He is a Jewish geneticist. However, he does not claim to be Jewish anymore after his research. So let's keep going. Alright. Sorry about that, guys. Alright. This is really important right here, guys. This is, let me just go up. This is actually from Harvard University study, genomic insights into the origin of farming in the ancient Near East. So let me just go to the page where I was just at. So this haplogroup, we know that the ancient Israelites are the E1B1, E1B1A, and so to confirm that, as you can see here, the Levant, you can see right up in here. Go ahead and highlight it. This is the haplogroup that Dr. Ebron Elhaik was talking about. All of this. It was found in the land of Israel. Also, during the time of the Natufians. If you've never heard of the Natufians, I'll briefly touch on it and just kind of give you an example of what they look like. So this is very important, fam, right here. That's where they found those haplogroups. Okay. Next, these are what the Natufians look like right here. Ancient Natufians, African hidden heroes of agriculture and civilization. What color are they? Melanated. Okay. All of that landmass was melanated. Okay. So that also tells us that the Brus were melanated. All of them. All of Israel, the true seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, is all melanated, so-called African Americans. However, as we keep going, there is a little things that I would like for folks to consider. The possibilities according to the word and according to genetics. And I will always say that the word of the Most High trumps anything, all genetics and everything. However, I'm looking at genetics as a supplementary proof to back the word of the Most High. Okay, so you guys don't get all crazy on me in the comment section. Alright, so we already seen that the E1B1A is found in Israel, the land of Israel. We know that they went into Africa, okay? Western Africa, different parts of Africa. So, this right here, the BMC Ecology and Evolution, the imprint of the slave trade in an African American population, mitochondrial DNA and Y chromosome, and the HTLV1 analysis in the Nord Maroon of French Guiana. Alright, this basically talks about the haplogroups that the Israelites have. Okay, because all of the Israelites that migrated into Africa mixed with African. Okay, and when they came here into the Americas, whether it's North, Central, or South, they also intermingled. Let that marinate, folks, because I got some stuff down in this lesson that I'm going to show you guys. So let's keep going here. So I'm just looking at my notes here, guys, because I'm just trying to give you guys the bullet points here. All right, so let's read here. Background: retracing the genetic histories of the descendant population of the slave trade, 16th through the 19th century. In particularly challenging due to the diversity of African ethnic groups involved and different hybridization process with Europeans and Amerindians, which have blurred their original genetic inheritance. So they were mixing, obviously, with Amerindians and Europeans, but I don't want to say mixing by choice, because of all the slavery that was going on. The Nord Maroon in French Guiana are the direct descendants of the Maroons who escaped from the Dutch plantations in current-day Suriname, they represent the original ethnic group with highly blended culture. All right, so as you can see, they've mixed. Okay, now let me see here, guys. So let me go to these figures real quick. See if I can click full size. Alright, the imprint of the slave trade in an African American population, mitochondrial DNA, and Y chromosome. Alright, as you can see, they're sharing a lot of DNA between this country, Africa, the US, Mexico, and Central and South. You can see countries with African mitochondrial and NRY data available. This is going to be very important because it tells us a lot. So let me see if I can go back. We know that the Dutch and the Jews, the Portuguese, were involved. Right here, the genetic dispersal that occurred during the slave trade remains complex due to the large diversity of populations involved. Modern African American populations show this genetic diversity inherited from African, European, and Amerindian populations. 9 to 10 million Africans were deported to the American colonies during the 16th and 17th centuries. In the, sorry if I butcher this, Guyanese regions between Brazil and Venezuela, approximately 400,000 slaves arrived to work in the plantations from 1604 to 1815 for mainly Dutch, but also English, French, and Portuguese Jews settlers. Although many of these slaves were shipped by Dutch West Indies Company, which controlled several African trading posts, notably in the Bay of Benin. Most of them were sold by independent slavers who traded along the Atlantic coast of Africa. Historical reports show widespread origins of the enslaved working force in Guyana, ranging from over the Atlantic African coast, from Senegal to Angola. Of the slaves came from Senegambia, present-day Senegal, Guyana, Sierra Leone, and Windward Coast, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana. Okay, guys, so let me see. The slavers took advantage of this highly cultural diversity by breaking all ethnic and familial networks and maintaining a sex ratio of 2 to 3 men and 1 and 3 women to prevent rebellions during Middle Passages. Alright, so this was all on the West Coast. Okay, now remember the haplogroups. We're going to get there because we're going to tie those haplogroups to the transatlantic slave trade, and mostly all Americans, so-called African Americans that are here. You are the true Israelites, the true chosen people of the Most High. So it's time to step up and stop doubting. So if I can get to this, because it's here. Alright guys, bear with me. Let me see. I will close. Let me just look at my notes. Okay, it's right here. Genetic diversity. All right. Let's see. I'm getting there, guys. This was a lot of research and a lot of reading. All right. I believe is here. Genetic diversity, Y chromosome, that comes from the male. Among the 42 of Nor maroon type. So let me tell you, this word right here basically is talking about, let's see, actually, I think I got it right here. It means black or chestnut brown, okay, of the people that were being enslaved, which is obvious, but in case those that are doubting out there, 36 different haplotypes were detected that's because of all the mixing that was going on. You know, the Brew's been mixing from the ancient times. You know, Moses, his Ethiopian wife. That's just an example, but there's a lot more. The genetic diversity shows a high level, similar to that found in other African American groups and sub-Saharan populations. All haplotypes were grouped using the latest NRY phylogeny. 90.5% belong to the major African haplogroup E1B1. I hope you guys see this right here. You know, the truth is always hidden in plain sight. A lot of people don't like to read. Heck, I don't even like to read, but sometimes I gotta get down through there. So I'm showing you guys that literally all of African descendant slaves were really the ancient Hebrew Israelites, and pinging them to the haplogroup that Dr. Eron L. Hike mentioned, and Harvard University. Okay, and not only that, but these folks here also, the Biomedic Central webpage that I'm here on. So let me see. Say, here we go again. African American. So this is all the brews that were enslaved and brought over here through the transatlantic slave trade. You can see what they're mixed with. So African American right here is red, you know, but all this they're also mixed with. Okay, guys. So median joining phylogenetic trees of the Nor maroon African and African American Y chromosome, STR haplotypes belonging to the haplogroup E1B1A. Keep in mind, and those that don't know, just because the world teaches that the black people here are Africans, they are not Africans. Okay, they are Israelites that belong to a different region. Just because there's some similarities, thus you cannot group them together. That's like saying all Asians are the same. So this is very interesting, guys. So I hope this let this marinate, because this is powerful stuff that they know already. This has been out for a while. Let me see something. So okay, I think this one was an important one too. Scale represents, let me see, the green color scale represents the F value calculated between the NRY data of the Moran and the populations of interest, which are presented in black. Let me see if I can get this full size here. So as you can see, they were everywhere: Mexico, North America, Central, South. And of course, guys, I know that the scripture says that that the brews were scattered to the four corners. No doubt. But I'm just focusing on this right now. I know they went into Europe, out in this area, to everywhere. But the point is that you understand that the haplogroups are the E1B1A, E1B1, and if you trace it back, it goes down to even E. And they are tagged to the so-called slaves, African slaves that were brought into the Americas, but in reality, they were the real children of the Most High. Okay. Now, let's keep going to Jeremiah, because the Father did say that He was going to do what we have seen. So Jeremiah 31:27, behold, the days come, saith Yahuwah, that I will sow the house of Israel and the house of Judah with the seed of man and with the seed of beast. All right, so obviously the males here are doing the sowing on the Father's behalf. So let's see. We are going to go, I think it's Zerah right here, that I will sow. So what does this actually mean? Scatter the seed. Okay, yep. Yielding seed to become pregnant or made pregnant. All right. So, I actually copied and pasted this word right here. Well, before I get there, the sperm has DNA from the male. Okay, we can prove that right here. This is the PubMed Central sperm DNA and detection of DNA fragmentations in sperm. Obviously, it's from the male. Let me see, where did I see this? Right here. Sperm is the male gamete cell which can move and has the ability of, oh my gosh, I'm getting old, capacitation, penetration, and fertilization. The ultimate aim of sperm is to maintain the generation by transferring the male genetic material into the ovum, the female gamete cell. Okay? So as long as the Israelite DNA is being transferred and they have offsprings, it's gonna keep transferring. Okay, so let's look at the word right here, Zara. Okay, so what I did, I copied and pasted that, and we're gonna come right here, do it in Hebrew. As you can see, I put, it means seed. All right, to sow, to spread, disseminate, seed, semen. All right, we already know that the male semen has DNA in it, the male DNA in it. All right, that's how it's spread to other populations. All right, let's keep going. Posterity, offspring, children. Okay. One word that caught my eye was right here, posterity. Okay, let's see what posterity means. Future generations. Okay, lineage, offsprings. Okay, next generation, succeeding generations. Okay, so this took me to Psalms 22. I believe it's Psalms 22:23. All right, let's read. Ye that fear Yahuwah, praise Him, all ye the seed of Jacob, glorify Him and fear Him, all ye the seed of Israel. All right, so seed. Okay, posterity, descendants, children. Okay, so anyone that is carrying that DNA is a possibility that they are also have the Israelite bloodline in them. All right, I'm not saying that the IUIC chart is correct, and this is just my personal opinion from the research that I've done, guys, that it holds some truth to it, but not completely, because remember, the tribes of Israel were scattered worldwide, so it's not just limited to a certain region, nor can you necessarily dictate what tribe you are from. And again, I'm going to reiterate this. We got to go by the word of the Most High, the curses, and what basically the word of the Most High supersedes everything. DNA and all this research and science is a supplementary proof that goes hand in hand. So, again, the word posterity, all future generations of people. Now, if we remember earlier, the brews that went into Africa, they were already mixing with Africans. By the time they got here, they already had African DNA, and of course European because of the slave masters with all the raping going on. So what I want to show is let me see. Oh, all right. So with that being said, let me see if I can find it, guys. That's not it. Let me actually show you something I commented. I'm gonna play this little video.
3,500 years ago, I was raised as a prince of Egypt. I did not learn that.
Let me pause it right there. I said, "Good day, Dr. Iran. Thanks for your work. I have a question. So the Israelite haplogroup E1B1/A is the Israelite DNA, which you confirm as well as Harvard study and other documents. This haplogroup then spread into Africa and other areas. I apologize about the grammar here. And the Americas, North, Central, and South through transatlantic slavery. They mixed into the populations there and spread their haplogroups into these populations." Would you agree with this understanding? So what I'm saying is, guys, that the brews, when they came here through the transatlantic slave trade, they intermingled and put their seed into these populations that were here. Okay, whether they were Mexican, they were Native Americans or so-called Native Americans, Aboriginal people, or whether they were in different parts of the world, which they were. So it doesn't matter whether it was here on the Western Hemisphere, but I'm just focusing on this side. So let's see what he says.
Truth about my ancient origins until I was a young.
He says, generally, yes, but I need to do the reconstruction to be sure. And of course, we all know the game that they never tell you the truth. They just give you bits and pieces. But he knows what's up, and he knew what I meant by that, you know. Just wanted to show you guys that. So this is what I mean. I believe, okay, let me bring this up right here. Look at this. All right, let me make this bigger. Let me zoom in. Let's see if I can zoom in. All right, this is a brew, okay, guys, marrying an indigenous Mexican woman. All right, let's see. The marriages of Maurilio and Teresa Caballero in Oaxaca, that's in Mexico, by Tony Glean. It really kind of, pictorially speaking, tells the story of what has happened in Mexico. Black men and black women have been intermarrying mestizos and indios, meaning Indians, for 500 years. All right, so that's a lot of DNA. All right, so if these folks have children, okay, and this is something that I've talked to some of the Ox about, and it can be a little touchy subject because, you know, some agree, some don't. If they have children, bam, they have all males, right? And of course, they're both melanated, okay? She's just a little less melanated. They have boys, and the boy, how can I say this, guys? The melanin starts to slowly fade, if their offspring start to marry lighter shades of people. However, the DNA is still there. The haplogroup of the Israelite is still there. Okay? No one is going to deny that. I mean, it might get some folks mad, but we're going to be speaking the truth here. So the brew, obviously, I'm sure they have children. Their offsprings, the boys, they become Israelites, basically. But they have Mexican in them. I know a lot of people. Just like when a brew is married to a white woman and they have offsprings. Yeah, those children have the Israelite bloodline because the bloodline comes through the father. Just like how we confirmed it with not only the scriptures say it, but also through genetics and science. So to give you guys kind of proof of this, so let's say let's just kind of give you guys an example. If these were my family, right? And over time, the melanin got lighter, but the Hebrew Israelite bloodline E1B1 and E1B1A is still there. It just gets diluted because of all the mixing. I'm going to show you guys. I actually did a DNA test. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, right here, so you guys can see. Come find out, I have E1B1A and E1B1, and it just goes back. Okay, I know other brews that have done genetic testing, and they too have this haplogroup. That Harvard University and all these documents that I just showed you show that this is the Israelite bloodline. However, I'm going to reiterate it again. We got to go back to scripture, Deuteronomy 28, and the curses that the Father speaks of in His Word. I will let the Father establish, if this be true, I will let Him establish me as a brew. However, at this time, I would just be the stranger among Israel until the Father does what He got to do. But this is very interesting, very persuasive information. And for me personally, I subscribe to genetics. I know a lot of people say, oh, well, DNA is baloney, DNA this, DNA is not real. Let me tell you something, man. The day that person goes to jail for a false murder, what's he gonna do? The first thing he's gonna do is take a DNA test to prove him free, so that he's not guilty. So don't come with that mumbo jumbo. Everything has DNA, from the food you eat, the plants, the animals, humans, to vaccines. So come on, guys, let's get with the program. So I just wanted to show you guys that. And again, posterity, future generations, we know that the Father, according to Jeremiah 31, if I can find it, is going to mix the seed of Israel and Judah with other people. Okay? So that DNA is going through different folks, you know? So I hope you guys find this edifying. It's very powerful information, and thank you guys for watching. And now you know you you a true Hebrew Israelite chosen by the Most High out of all the families in the world. It's time to return back to the covenant that all the prophets of the OT were out to tell Israel to turn back to the Most High only and follow His commandments. Not JC, not Islam, nothing else but the Most High, and you shall be blessed. Shalom.